and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra, and with me somebody very, very special. Professor Chakrabarti joins in. He's the Dean at IIM Calcutta. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out for this discussion.
My pleasure.
Well, this is an interview which a lot of youngsters would be watching. All the millennials who want to pursue their education, pursue their Masters of Business Administration in the top B schools in India. And this is something that most of the engineers definitely in India aspire for, and we are a country which produces a lot of engineers every year. So I want to understand from you, what is the tip to get selected in the top B schools in India?
Well, if you ask me about a trick which could possibly put somebody in one of the top business schools, is a very comprehensive understanding of what is happening around you. So it's an understanding of the context and a reflection of the context. One of the major problems that we see when we interview people is that they all come and say that I'm cut out for management. I want to climb the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
And when you keep on asking very specific questions of reflecting on what is happening around us, you see very similar answers. So the best trick would possibly be to be oneself. If you know that you are where your heart is, where your strength is, bring that out rather than what you might have been coached for to how to act in an interview. Be yourself in reflecting on how you would reflect what you are passionate about.
Okay.
That comes out in interviews. So I think that's the trick.
Right. So exactly, you talked about interview, and that's what I was coming to. That what are the key questions that you ask in an interview? How should one be prepared for that? How does one crack that GDPR, WAT, all of those jargons, and how does one come out successful there?
No, interviews are very free-flowing. So there's nothing like questions. I mean, this is something that aspirants keep on asking us,
Yeah.
and if you go from one panel to another, I'm sure, if you go to 100 panels, they would all give you different questions.
Okay.
There's not like one question or two questions that we ask, but what we basically look at is, as I said, is that person able to comprehend the things that she is talking about? Is that person able to reflect on the things that she is talking about? How in depth that person has gone into the things that she is interested in. So all those things would be things that we would look for. The questions might be different, but these are the elements that we are looking for in a person when we are interviewing.
Okay. Okay, so there are a number of top B schools and of course number of IIMs as well. How should one really narrow down their search when one goes for these B schools and select that which are the schools that they really want to target? How does one come to that decision?
No, that's a very important thing, Sakshi, and I think you have really hit the bullseye there, because many of the students find it difficult to narrow down to a choice. I mean, whether is it going to be the ranking? Is it going to be the placement data? Is it going to be some seniors that I have talked to a few years ago? Maybe all of these at the back of one's mind. But one should also look at how the business schools are repositioning themselves.
Yes.
Because that's how tomorrow's business education is going to look like. Because what happened until now is like a passé. The world has moved on. It's not just about learning about finance and marketing. You do that in any business school. And when you look at a student who has graduated from the 60th business school and the 4th business school, they might actually talk things very alike when it comes to the functional areas.
Okay.
But it's understanding of what goes beyond that is the repositioning itself, which means that has the knowledge being created in a co-construction way, which means is the business school very close to the grassroots? Is the business school shaking hands with the external stakeholders, bringing them into the classroom? Is that a thread that a business school is creating in terms of their research, bringing that research in the classrooms and taking stakeholders who use that research to the classrooms? Is this thread visible to somebody who is going to work tomorrow in the market? Those are things that are going to be really the cutting edges which will help one find a better job if one is looking for that tomorrow. And that should be the deciding factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One more very important thing that I wanted to understand is, of course, the traditional degree programs that everybody aspires for in the B schools. Apart from that, in the recent past, we've seen the business landscape really change, like anything, all across the world, not just in India, because of the COVID-19. We've seen supply chains failing. We've seen the governments rethinking, reimagining themselves. Businesses also doing that as well. What is the role of a business school right then to foster the entrepreneurial spirit and to also prepare leaders for any kind of business cycles that emerge then in their lives?
No, it's again a very important area, Sakshi, and I would go back to the issue of connect, how the business school creates those connects with the market. For instance, is the business school also interested in, say, an innovation park, an incubation center? Not just for the students. I mean, well, it could very well be for the students, but is there something which brings those connects? For instance, IIM Calcutta is now implementing the state rural livelihood mission in various states. And what we are doing is an enormous thing. We are going to the grassroots and creating abilities with the self-help groups and the market linkages with our innovation park. And we bring those flavors into the classroom. So that creates the entrepreneurship. I think those are the connects that is required. Our innovation park, the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, in 1 year actually worked with the diverse, right from healthcare to sustainable fashion, to inclusive business, finances, all these things, and then incubated them as entrepreneurs with faculty mentoring them, and these people feeding back into the learning of the new students. So is this thread something which is visible in the curriculum of that business school? These are going to make differences.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Professor, for being with us and discussing so many wonderful insights that I'm sure to help all our viewers, especially all the young millennials who are looking to enter into the top B schools. Many thanks for being with us.
Absolutely a pleasure talking
Thank
to you.
you.